Today, we're going to talk about my experience of retiring, living in the Philippines for approximately 14 years. And it's been really a wonderful experience. Of course, life is not perfect, you have your ups and downs, but we're going to talk more about living in the Philippines versus living in California in the United States. I was born and living in California about 5 minutes from Disneyland. Now, you know that Disneyland is considered the happiest place on earth. However, not everyone was happy, and it was a great life living in California, I must admit, and it's gotten worse as time has gone by. But living in California before having a business and having a life there was really great. However, as time went on, I noticed that people were more and more unhappy, more stressed out, and people were reclusive and to themselves, and they were not really very friendly. And I was kind of wondering, there's got to be a better place than this. I remember going to the post office every day in Chapman Avenue, and I had this business post office box. And I'd go there, and when I'd walk through the door, I'd see like the same old people every day. They're grumpy people and no smiles. They'd say hello, and they would like say bad words to you, like, "Why are you talking to me?" And it was just an unfriendly place. And even my neighbor, I had a neighbor across the street. He used to not have anything in his trash can when they used to come by and empty it. And I'd ask him sometimes, "Could I put something in it? Because your trash can has nothing in it." And he said, "No, don't touch my trash can." And I noticed that all the people were really friendly in the Philippines. The first time I came to the Philippines was in 2004. I went to Boracay and just enjoyed myself. The people were so nice and respectful, and just it seemed like everywhere I went, people were being nice to you. And I'm not used to that. I was thinking, this place in the Philippines is pretty nice, because I'm not used to people being nice, and I'm not used to people being respectful. And every time I came back to the Philippines, it was the same. People were always nice, always respectful. And I was thinking, this is not a fake, this is real. So I've enjoyed every single time coming. I also got such a respect of the people. The Philippines, the people go through so many hardships and disasters and calamities and things that are difficult. It makes them strong. It makes them hardened. While I was in America, the people never had a brownout or a blackout. They were just not used to any kind of disasters. If a disaster happened, they would quickly call their insurance company, and they would panic, and they would not know what to do. However, on the other hand, in the Philippines, these people are tough. When there's a disaster, they go ahead and fix the problems. They go ahead and clean up the mess. They don't complain. They don't call their insurance company. They just go out and fix it. They do it. And it's really cool to see the tenacity of these people. They're very powerful, strong people. And then when I go see Americans, they're weak, and they just cannot do anything on their own. They're not used to these kind of things happening. And that was kind of cool about the Philippines, is the strength, the tenacity, the grit of the Philippine people. And when the face of a disaster, when we had Yolanda, all the houses were blowing apart, the roofs were flying, everything was crazy. And these people had a total disaster. 250-mile-an-hour winds. And what did they do? They fixed up everything up the next day or two, and they went back to life as normal after one of the biggest typhoons in recorded history. That proved to me that these people are strong, they're resilient, and they're Filipino. I don't mean to get on a tangent about the Yolanda, but it was just so amazing to see the people. There was trees, big trees that were there for lots of old trees. They're falling down in the road, and there was houses torn apart, and the place looked like it was a disaster area, a complete disaster area. And the next day, all you could see is people outside working on their houses, cleaning the road. everybody working in unison to take care of this problem. The internet was down for like a month. I think the lines got torn out of the ocean. Everything went disastrous. And there was long lines for gasoline because everything was a disaster. But she see through all this disaster that the people, the Philippine people, they united, they helped each other, they cleared the roads, they got life back to normal within a day or two after the most massive disaster in recorded history. That's what I mean about the Philippine people. And like I mentioned, if this happened in America, those people wouldn't know what to do. Also, safety is a very big thing in the Philippines. You know, the Philippines is a law-abiding country, and they teach that, you know, you must obey the law or you go to jail. So people are very adherent to the law. And when I was in America, every day I was feeling threatened. People were trying to rob me. People were trying to grab my wallet, take my money. I'd stop at Jack in the Box for a few tacos, and people would sneak up and put their hand through the window and try to grab my wallet. I mean, it was just crazy at the gas stations, everything. I felt really nervous a lot when I was there in 2022. However, since I've been in the Philippines for how many years now, I've never had any kind of robbery situation or attempt. And I've never really experienced it. So when I went back home and it's happened every day in America, I was kind of freaked out because I'm not used to this kind of behavior. Now, there are crimes in the Philippines. Of course, every country has them. There's violent crimes. Normally, the violent crimes, not always, but on the average, it's with Filipinos, boys, mad at other Filipino boys. Maybe the one will pull a knife out. There'll be an attack. These things do happen, but it's typically on a dispute over money or other things like that. With Filipino young boys is typically the situation. But with foreigners, people don't mess with the foreigners, and no one's ever messed with me. I exercise, I do boxing, just in case somebody wants to like mess with me, but I've never really had to use it. So it's really good that I'm able to exercise and not use that, because the last thing you want to do in the Philippines is to hurt somebody, and that's not exactly why I'm here. But the safety level in the Philippines is just great, and if you want to be safe, live a safe life, this is the place to be, because they used to say it was a terrorist country. There's never anything like that. I've never experienced anything like that. We're getting that in Mindanao. So if you want to stay away from those kind of places like Mindanao, it's best to go to other places in the Philippines.